Lucha, we gotta move yes. She's so beautiful. We gotta move you. Sorry. Let's see if we could do it without waking you up, Miss Princess. No, we've been running around. That's the word, running around. Yet. Hello. You're facing the wrong way. People can't. Why don't I move that? Okay. Oh, kapalo cookie. Oh, yes. Wakapuku paka paka kaka kaka. Oh, wala wawa we sikamuko. Let's say hello to everybody. This is Wallace, Wallis, as in Simpson. Boop, 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 boop. Wallace Simpson was the what they do. People don't know this about the Simpsons. All the characters are derived from the genetic material of one person, and Wallace Simpson was the one. You know, the one who stole King Eddie's heart and made him lose the crown. Fell down and broke his crown. Oh, the wonderful royal family of England. Such superior human beings. Well, you know, I think this whole business, they couldn't even stop the nonsense that resulted in Princess Diana's death. Really, it was part of it. And these people, these shits, the Queen, people listen to the Queen. She could come out and say, you know, I would like to ask all my people who consider there being a reason for me being the Queen. I will therefore be a leader. She could have stopped all this paparazzi shit. But she plays right along with it because she is interested in the little people staying little. And the paparazzi shit is part of the whole show that's been going on ever since the National Socialist Workers' Party widgets lost the war in 1945. You know, there's a reason I say widgets instead of people, is that the party is everything. That's why we have the three greatest killers of the, we really gotta, we'll include a fourth, as a footnote or something, which is important. Anyway, the three: Hitler, responsible for 20 million deaths; Stalin, not to be undone, Stalin, 30, and then that MFS Mao Zedong, Fugugu. You combine Hitler's 20 and Stalin's 30, they're 50. So between the three of those mother effers, 100 million people died. Now, I did promise you a little addendum footnote sort of thing. Right? I did promise that. Yes, she always agrees with everything. That's what I love about her. Oh, such a sweetie pie. We got this little shit called Pol Pot. P-O-L-P-O-T. Pol Pot. He only is responsible for something like 4 million people. But that was half the country. In other words, he got half the people to kill the other half. Isn't that nice? You know, if her brother were here, we could say, "Cheese, Gromit!" But Gromit's not here. This is Wallace. Gromit, spelled like the thing you make, a hole, reinforced hole in a tarp or something. Grommet. The cartoonist, the genius behind Wallace and Gromit, with whom I'm shamelessly stealing their names, but I'm changing the names, so I can't be sued. Not by him. I'm assuming it's a guy, but yeah, it's got to be a guy that looks just like Wallace. And with four fingers on each hand, Mommy, why did I have to be born with 4 fingers? So you could grow up to be a great cartoonist by doing, auto cartooning. Anyway, where were we? We were somewhere in the middle of. So anyway, people who kill masses of people. So the whole thing about a party. Of the 3 biggies, we have the this thing that was called Stalinism. Stalinism is a particular form of communist-based socialism, but it's communist-based. Maoism was also communist, but it was also Mao-based. In other words, it was God-based. Mao was God. And he didn't just want your body. He wanted your whole way of thinking. You had to go down the street, making sure people knew that his little sayings from his little red book. Ooh, that motherfucker, what a shit. And, by the way, right now, his successor, she, kind of nice to have a name like that, because we could call she her, right? Her. And that's good, because we don't need them knowing that we're finally on to them. And their days are numbered, all of them. But anyway, let's get on to, we've got, from the 20th century, we've got this wonderful thing called Stalinism. And by the way, you could go to the various countries of the ex-Soviet Union, and you could see people with pictures of this motherfucker, Stalin. Just a crazy shit who paranoid of everything, scared of everybody. That's why he was killing everybody. That's why he was so vulnerable at the beginning of war when Hitler attacked, because he had spent the 30s just killing off his best people, because he had this thing where the closer people got to him, well, then the more the competition between his underlings. And he had this one guy. His name was Beria. Beria. Look him up. Oh, my God. Think of him as, what's his name? The guy who set up the little gag in which, during the primary that Bush Jr. won in South Carolina, in order to make sure he'd win, this little shit, Karl Rove, with a K, definitely K, absolutely K. He's a K. He is a K. He's a king. A king maker. He's a king. He works for the kings. He is a traitor and a genocidist. That's all. Let's just call a Karl Rove. And by the way, so I'm just saying, well, what's his role in all of this? He's just like the guy Beria. So if you want to know who Karl Rove is in the current setup, think about this guy. Look him up. What did he do? He was the guy who had the files on everybody. Everybody, even Stalin. Stalin was the only guy Stalin was afraid of, and he did live until Stalin died. And you know what happened? The story, you can't be sure that the story that's been told is correct, and I think there might even be more than one story. But it's a very reasonable thing to think that after Stalin died, the Politburo, the main guys, 9 people or something, they go into a room. Nobody's got weapons. No, they don't go with weapons. They got, everybody's watching every move everybody's making. And these guys, when they go into a Politburo meeting, there ain't no weapons, that's for sure. Maybe a nail clipper or something, but, maybe a box cutter. No box cutters. No, you see, no weapons. So, but this guy Beria, remember, he's the guy who had the files on everybody. He was really like Hoover, J. Edgar Hoover, right? Karl Rove, we'll just put him in no, he's more of a dirty trickster. Anyway, they're children. Okay, you didn't hear me say anything bad, but anyway. So the story goes that they have this meeting, after Stalin dies. And, they all sit down. And at some point, one of the members says something, about our dear comrade, Beria. And it becomes very quiet. And we can just imagine well, you know what? When somebody like this shit, the scum of eternity, the eternal scum, which the current people who don't call themselves Stalinists, they don't call themselves Maoists, they call themselves members of the National Socialist Workers' Party, or Nazi. Although now, that party was finished in 1945, so the International Socialist Workers' Party is really what we're talking about. But it's helpful to say, well, who are these people? They're Nazis, and the sons and grandsons and daughters too, because Nazism works through women spying and lying, and men beating off and beating up people. Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, that's the women's. No, the women are very important in the Socialist Workers' Party. Then the international one. We had plenty of people right in this here country who were really on Hitler's side. In fact, making huge fortunes, what would be the equivalent of billions of dollars today. Making it. Making their peace. Now they've got a piece of the whole frickin' world's economy. The whole thing. They got a piece of it. Maybe it's only a percent, but they're players, and maybe they have more because they're working and then they get together. That's what the banks are. That's what the families are. The families throughout history, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and then we got this fella named George Herbert Walker, lived about 1870s to 1950s. He was one of the guys. He worked with the Harrimans and the Browns and other shit people. Just shit people who made super large amounts of money off of death. I'm sorry, am I talking too loud? Oh my gosh, this lawyer I have. This guy's done 600 cases, gotten people off of murder, rap, and all sorts of things. And he can't look me in the eye. In fact, I'm trying to explain something. I'm talking about almost getting killed, and sometimes I get a little loud, And I was getting loud. In the conference room, it's just me and him. And all of a sudden he goes, "Don't raise your voice." And what? I'm talking about almost getting killed, and this is my defense. I'm going up for 3 years. I got a 3-year felony charge. And this is it. Somebody looks inside my car, sees me doing stuff with my hands, which is what I do a lot of, by the way. Right? I was sitting behind the steering wheel doing all this stuff. He thinks I'm masturbating. He calls the cops. That's the whole thing. I told him no. I explained what I was doing. Nope, I'm a liar. You know why? Because I was nervous. Well, you go watch me getting tasered out on that highway and realize that was only the beginning of about 2 months of never wondering if I was ever going to get out of Florida alive. And if that isn't a justification for me being a little bit on the, oh, I'm sorry. Shh, take a deep breath. So anyway, life has been interesting. I think I'm getting a little bit I don't know. Oh, we were going to place... No, we're going to finish. Sorry, we almost got mixed up.